Hi folks, my perspective here. Often you may hear someone say, well, don't be silly, the earth's not flat because I've seen the curve of the earth from an aeroplane window. But is this true? Is this possible? So we're going to prove to you, using simple illustrations, that this is impossible. If you're sitting in a chair, right, and you have a ball in front of you, the apex of that ball is at your eye level. No matter how big you make that ball, or how small you make yourself, right, you cannot turn 360, or you cannot turn to your left or to your right and keep the ball in view. No matter how big you made that ball, or how small you made yourself, right, it's not about size, it's about angles. If you turned around, the ball can't stay in front of you. And if you put yourself on top of that ball, no matter how big you made that ball or how small you made yourself, for you to keep the ball to your left and right and in front to see it, you'd have to be inside the ball. It's impossible for you to be on top of that ball and see the ball in all directions. You cannot see the ball to the left and to the right. And the same applies with an aeroplane. So, from different distances from you, so no matter how small you made that aeroplane, you would see the curve. There would be a change in altitude at different distances from you. It's unavoidable. Right? They'll say, no, it's so big that it looks flat. Well, it's impossible. A ball and a flat plane is not the same thing. Right? So, you cannot see the curve out the plane window if you're a passenger on the left or the right, or if you're the pilot. And if the plane changed directions, you cannot keep the horizon in front of him. No matter how big you made the ball, or how small you made the plane, it's the same thing. And therefore the aeroplane would be flying on its side. In other words, if you were standing on the ground, the wing would be facing you. Aeroplane's flying sideways. And as the aeroplane made slight adjustments in altitude and directions, what would you see if you think you see the horizon in front of you? The horizon can't stay in front of you if it's a ball. This is what you would see. You lock a camera down, well, that ball would be rolling all over the show. You'd see different angles of the ball as the plane turned. It's logical. So, from your plane window, you'd become very religious very quickly if the earth was a ball, because that's what would happen. That's not what happens. So you cannot see the curve. You're not seeing a curve out of your plane window. What you're experiencing is a flat plane. The fact that everyone from the left and the right and in front and behind, they all see the horizon in front of them, and as the plane turns, as the pilot sees the horizon dip in front of him, you see it angle to the left and to the right. It means the earth's a flat plane. That's logical. There is no way that the earth can be a ball. You would see a change. Now the argument is, well, it's just that the earth's so big and you so tiny. You see, these visuals apply big or small. It's just a matter of making them big and making them small. The principle stays the same. So a person, a pilot in the front of the plane, a passenger to the left and to the right, all see the horizon in front of them. Simply means the earth has to be flat, because the altitude of the ground below you and to the left and right is the same. Has to be flat. The plane can turn any direction and the horizon's always in view of the pilot. It's flat. As the plane gains altitude, you see it rises above those clouds in a line. Do you understand? That means that the clouds are spread out as in a flat plane above the flat earth. So sure, the clouds have got form, they're three-dimensional, and they're puffy at the top. Some of the clouds are flat. So, at different distances from you, right, you would see the clouds bend at the horizon. You cannot escape this. You have to see a curve. You see the horizon in front of you at different distances, right? You would see clouds at different distances from you, and you would rise up above them as the plane gained altitude. You would see it. Your experience would be totally different. And as you're on top of that ball earth in the clouds, you couldn't see the clouds in front of you and to the left and to the right. It's impossible. Remember, it's not about size, it's about angles. Your angle to the object. In other words, if I put a suitcase behind you, you cannot see the suitcase behind you because you're looking in front of you. So next time you get on an aeroplane, free your mind of what you think you see and say to yourself, what do I actually see? What is my experience? Forget what you've been taught. Just look. Look carefully and think. Look at the clouds, look at the ground, and then ask yourself, am I flying above a ball? Is the earth a ball, or is it a flat plane? So do you think it's called an airplane and we have the word sight to look, and the word sight, which means flat, the Latin word planate, which actually means flat? Do you think these are just coincidences, or do you think we're being deliberately deceived? What do you think? So they'll tell you now that this person, who's on this glass dome, right? He's in a hothouse. No matter how small we make him, his experience, what he sees in front and behind him, the length of the hothouse is not the same as the breadth and the width. They're trying to tell you now that this person won't be able to tell the difference between the two. And what do you think? See, no matter how small you make this man, his experience in the front to the back of the hothouse is not the same as to the left and to the right of the hothouse. So I hope this helps you out, and thanks for watching.
Hey, I just want to say thanks for the smooth flight.
Right.
I did have one question. Is there like a specific angle of downward tilt you have to fly at to
3 degrees.
3 degrees for the curvature of the Earth?
For the Earth?
Because,
No, we just fly over the troposphere.
Really?
Yeah,
But do you have to keep like kind of going down because?
No, we actually have to nose up. It flies like that.
Really? Because I was reading some stuff on the flat Earth that made a lot of sense. Have you looked into it?
Which one?
I was reading a lot of stuff on the flat Earth.
Okay, yeah. True.
It's true?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, cool.
All right.
God bless, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.